Hello students, welcome you all. My name is Parul Gupta, your computer teacher. I welcome you all. I hope you all are fine. So as you all know that student, you might have heard about the first term exam that is going to be held in the October month, right? So most probably children, whatever the course we have completed after you can say this in the month of August or September, so that will be there, but it is not sure. I will definitely will gonna inform you before the exam only, so don't worry about that. We'll tell you what is the status for the October month. So what I want from you, that whatever the chapters we have discussed, okay, or you all know that we have total 6 chapters in our book, right? So most probably it might be possible that all the 6 chapter will also come for the first term exam, okay, but as I told you that I will inform you, okay. So now in this video, basically children, I'm going to start with our chapter 6, which is the last chapter of our syllabus, that is cyber ethics. But before this, I'm going to discuss one topic we have left from chapter 2, that is the mobile technologies. So that I'm going to discuss. After that, we're going to start with our chapter 6, okay, that is cyber ethics. So first of all, let's talk about the topics that what I'm going to cover in this video session. Yes children, so these are the topics that what I'm going to cover. Like the first one is generations of mobile technologies, as this is the last topic of chapter 2, that what I'm going to discuss first of all. Then after that, we're going to start with our chapter 6. The first topic is introduction to cyber ethics, then e-commerce and benefit of e-commerce, okay. So we shall start with our first topic, that is generations of mobile technology, okay. So yes, so first of all, the generations of mobile technology. First generation, that is 1G. 1G refers to the first generation of wireless telephone technology or mobile telecommunications. Mobile phones of this generation use analog signals to make phone calls, okay. Like first we are using the first generation mobile, okay, which is a wireless technology. Wireless means there is no medium of physical, there is no physical medium, that wire is not there, okay. That is a wireless technology or mobile telecommunication, and this is basically used to make phone calls, okay. And mobile phones of this generation used analog signals to make the phone calls. So this is what happened in first generation, because when earlier days we are using the telephone landline phones, and but that is not a wireless, that is a wired connection, right? But this is the first generation of the wireless mobile technology, and it uses analog signals to make the phone calls. Clear? Then come to the next one, that is 2G, which is a second generation, okay. 2G refers to the second generation of mobile technology that is based on GSM standards, okay. GSM means Global System for Mobile Communication. This technology uses digital networks for phone conversations and provide text and multimedia messaging services such as SMS and MMS, okay. 2G, it is 2G is somehow the advancement of the first generation of the mobile technology, which is basically used for GSM. GSM stands for Global System for Mobile, or you can say the Global Services for Mobile Communication. This technology basically uses a digital network for the phone conversation, okay. Means you can make phone calls, as well as they are providing services of SMS as well as MMS. We have discussed about this SMS and MMS in our previous video session, okay. So might be you people know what is SMS and what is MMS. SMS means where you are sending just only the normal text messages, okay. That range is there, means up to which character you can send the SMS. And MMS means along with the text you can send the images or images file, audio files, like this way you can send, that is the multimedia messaging. Clear? So this is in second generation. Then comes to our next generation, that is third generation, which is 3G. So 3G refers to the third generations of mobile telecommunications technology that was launched in 1998 as an upgrade for 2G network for faster internet access, okay. 3G is basically the upgrade of 2G, okay, or you can say the more advancement in the 2G technology, which is basically used for accessing the internet but at faster rate, okay. And the data transfer is 144 kilobytes per second to 2 Mbps, okay. and it provides services of mobile telephony, faster web browsing, video calling, mobile TV, etc. Okay, means this technology was launched in the 1998. Okay, and this is the upgrade version of 2G network, and it is basically used for accessing the internet but at faster rate as compared to the 2G network. Okay, and the data transfer in 3G is 144 kbps to 2 mbps. Okay, and it provides services of telephony, means you can make phone calls, you can access the web browser, you can access, there's an option of video calling, mobile TV, etc. Clear? So this is about the 3G, which is our third generation. Okay, then comes to the next one, that is 4G, which is fourth generation. 4G refers to the latest mobile technologies that provide services such as internet browsing, video calling, HD mobile TV, 3D gaming at a faster speed from 100 Mbps to 1 Gbps on mobile devices. Basically, it is the latest mobile technology which provides the services of, means we can access the internet, we can do the video calling, we can HD mobile TV, also we can play on our mobile phones, 3D gaming also. Their speed is also very, at faster speed you can access the internet, and the data transfer speed is 100 Mbps to 1 Gbps. This is in fourth generation or in 4G. Okay, then comes to that is 5G, which is fifth generation, although it is available. Fifth generation is the next generation technology in the area of mobile telecommunication. Might be in your book, means whatever, whenever this book has been published, that time it is not there, but yes, it is available in the area of mobile technology, telecommunication. 5G network should provide 20 Gbps, the maximum data transfer speed. As you can see the difference between the 4G and the 5G. Over there the speed is 100 Mbps to 1 Gbps, and here it is provide the speed of 20 Gbps. Okay, that is the maximum data transfer speed in fifth generation. Okay, so this is about the generations of mobile technology that what we have discussed. Children, whatever I am going to show you or whatever I am going to tell you, in the same way you have to write it down in your notebook, and that much only you have to learn. Okay, so you should know what is the difference between 1G, 2G or 2G, 3G. Means any question may come either in 1 mark or 2 marks, so you should be ready with that. Okay, so this is about the generations of mobile technology, and with this we're going to complete with our chapter 2, that is services on the internet. Clear, children? So now we shall start with our next chapter, that is chapter 6, cyber ethics. Cyber means while we are accessing the internet. Ethics means whatever the rules we have to follow while we are surfing on internet. Okay, okay, means the moral values while accessing the internet. Okay, so cyber ethics can be defined as the study of moral, legal and social issues involving cyber technology. Cyber ethics related to the ethical issues of the internet era. It refers to the code of responsible behavior on the internet. The basic rule is to not to do something on the internet that you would consider wrong or illegal in everyday life. Okay, we all are using internet, right? So cyber ethic is basically, children, whatever I have discussed with you just now, that means whatever the rules you have to follow while you are surfing the internet or while you are accessing the internet. Okay, that is a part of cyber ethics. Cyber ethics, sorry, it refers to the code of responsible behavior on the internet. The basic rule is to not to do something on the internet that you would consider wrong or illegal in everyday life. Means whatever the work you are doing online, make sure that work should not be illegal. Okay, so this is the only term known as the cyber ethics, and related to this only we are going to discuss few more topics of this chapter. Okay, children. So now come to the next topic, that is e-commerce. As I think you might have remembered, so you might have remembered that this topic we have discussed in chapter 2 also, right? So again we are discussing not an issue. I guess you people know what is e-commerce now. So e-commerce refers to the economic activity that occurs over the internet. E-commerce means electronic commerce. Okay, it is an economic activity that occurs over the internet only. Okay, in its simplest form, e-commerce is the buying and selling of product and services by businesses and consumers over the internet. It includes all types of business activities such as retail, shopping, banking, investing, and rentals. Means in this, what we are doing, we are either purchasing the goods or we are selling the goods by the businessmans. Okay, and it includes all the type of business activity. You all know that we all are accessing, online services. Nowadays we prefer online services rather than going physically over there to purchase something, right? You must know, aware about all the e-commerce websites, right? So basically, what is their process, what is the agenda of this e-commerce website? The main agenda is, the user can purchase the things, or user will get all the things one at a place only. Okay, there's no need to rush from here to here or there. So in this case, basically, user can purchase the goods and services. Okay, so many applications are nowadays online available through which you're getting the online services. So this is a part of e-commerce, means electronic commerce. Okay, so now next is, what are the benefits of e-commerce? Benefits of e-commerce means, the first is reduced cost. Due to the reduced labor, paperwork, reduced errors in keeping in data, and reduced post cost, e-commerce site offer low prices and hence products are cheaper. That's why, because there is no, when we you are selling the goods online, or okay, so that means there's no need of labor, there's no paperwork. Okay, the burden is also less. There's no, it should be error free because everything is online, every work you're doing on the system only. So this overall, what it reduced the cost. Okay, that's why you must have seen that if any of the product you're checking online, their price is less, right? So next is reduce shopping time. Of course, it saves our time also. When a consumer places an order on a shopping website, he or she directly deals with the supplier's website. Hence, it eliminates the processing time between the intermediaries and suppliers, and thus products are delivered faster, right? Because it basically saves our time. Then shop from anywhere, anytime. E-commerce website provide 24-hour shopping services like anywhere in the world. Moreover, customers get a variety of product ranges, thus they can shop with flexibility and efficiency. Means you can sit anywhere and you can purchase the product, or you can order whatever you want through e-commerce website, right? So that is the only meaning of this one, that you can shop from anywhere and anytime, as they are providing the services 24 hours. Clear? Then comes to next, that is improved customer relationships. Improved communication between trading partners or customers and companies leads to enhanced long-term relationship. Of course, with this they improve the communication between the trading partners. Means nowadays businessmen also want that their product has been sold through e-commerce portal only, right? So this, what it does, basically it improves the customers relationship. Clear? So these are the few benefits of e-commerce what we have discussed just now. Okay children, so you have to mark all these points and you have to write it down, whatever we have discussed just now. Clear hai? And the definition only, whatever I have marked, so that much definition you have to write it down in your notebook. After that you have to mention the benefits of e-commerce. Clear? Yes children, so now come to the next topic, that is security requirements in e-commerce. Now we have already aware about what is e-commerce, what type of services they are providing, what are its benefits. So now come to our next topic, that is security. Means everything we are doing online, we're purchasing the things online, we're entering our details, information. So whether we are sure that whatever we are purchasing or the website we are accessing or the details on which the portal on which we are entering our details, that is safe or not. So this is the term of security in e-commerce. Okay, so e-commerce security is the protection of e-commerce assets from unauthorized access, use, alteration or destruction. To ensure safe e-commerce, there are certain security provisions in it. Okay, means e-commerce security means basically the protection of e-commerce assets from unauthorized access, so that unauthorized person will not able to access the e-commerce portal, use it, or alteration or destruction in it. Okay, to ensure e-commerce, there are certain security provision in it. So what are those? provision. First one is privacy. We all know about what is the meaning of privacy. So one of the most obvious e-commerce security basics is privacy, which is the ability to ensure that information is accessed and changed only by authorized parties. This is the achieved by encryption. As I think you people remember, we have learned about this term encryption in 9th class also. Means only authorized person will able to access the data, unauthorized person will not able to access the data. So same is the the meaning of encryption here in terms of privacy. Means the authorized person will able to purchase the things or entering the detail or access the e-commerce portal. Unauthorized person will not able to do that. Okay, when you shop online, sensitive data such as credit card detail, health record, sales figure, etc., and other personal details should not be accessible to anyone except the seller you have chosen to share it with. Because when we are placing the order at the time of doing the you can say this monetary transaction, that time we have to enter our card details. So make sure that on which portal we are entering, only that portal will able to access. No other person will able to interfere in the transaction or in the portal. So this is the meaning of encryption here in terms of privacy. Okay, so you have to write it down from one of the sale leaker till the share it with. Okay children, till share it with. Clear? Then come to the next one, that is integrity. So what is integrity? A second concept which is crucial within secure e-commerce is the idea of integrity, that none of the information shared online by the customer will be altered in any way. Means whatever the information has been shared by the customer, that will not be altered by any way. Okay, means this is the ability to ensure that information being displayed on a website or being transmitted, received over cyberspace has not been altered in any way by the unauthorized party. Suppose if I am the customer and I am placing the order from the Amazon portal, so at the time of entering the details, so that no other unauthorized person will able to interfere and will change the details whatever I have entered. So this is the meaning of integrity. Is that clear? So basically you have to write it down from a second concept to this point, that is an unauthorized party. Clear? Then come to the next one, that is authentication. So what is authentication? Is the process of verifying the identity of a user, process or device, often as a prerequisite to allowing access to resources in a system. It ensures that the trading party has authority of the transaction. Both the buyer and the seller provide proof of identification to each other so that they can feel secure about the sale and purchase. Means they are entering their detail, their identification proof, so that both buyer and seller will feel safe that yes, the person which is sitting in front of me, or with the person, no, not sitting in front of me, means the person who is accessing my portal and from which portal I am purchasing the things, both are the safe one. Clear? So this is the meaning of authentication. Okay, means basically to verify the identity of a user, process or device. Okay, clear here? Then come to the last one, that is non-repudiation. The principle of non-repudiation adds another level of security by confirming that the information which was sent between the parties was indeed received, and that a purchase or email or signatures cannot be denied by the person who completed the transaction. Means at the time, means once the transaction has been done, so whatever the detail I have entered or the customer has entered, or if any signature mark or something has been entered by the customer, so that has been confirmed. Okay, means after that the customer cannot deny that yes, these details are not related to me, or I'm not responsible of that. So this is the meaning of non-repudiation. Okay, the principle of non-repudiation adds another level of security by confirming that information which was sent between the parties was indeed received, and that a purchase or email or signatures cannot be denied by the person who completed the transaction. Suppose once I have placed the order, so I must have received a confirmation mail from the website, and plus whatever the detail I have entered, so I am I can't deny that yes, these details are not related to me. So this is the meaning of non-repudiation. Clear? So you have to write it down, children, from the principle till this transaction, and similarly in here the complete, that is authentication. Okay, So with this, children, we are going to finish our today's video session. So we have just started with our chapter 6, and this is the only last chapter of our this curriculum. So after that we left with only with the revision only. So please, side by side, whatever I have discussed with you in the videos, note it down in your notebook. Okay, don't forget to note it down, because these are the notes and you have to note it down. There's no use of showing the same thing again and again to you. So I know that you are a people of 10th, or you are children of 10th class, and you know very well what you have to do and in which manner you have to do. Okay, and I think you must have aware that now the worksheet will not be submitted. So whenever it will be, the date will be confirmed to you. Okay, so till the time, please make sure your work should be complete, and your worksheet also, means your notebook and worksheet, everything should be completed, so that with this your revision will also be there. Okay, okay children.